I'm very comfortable with what Boston have at that big man rotation. However, there's always room to improve. Always room to improve. So I'm going to start off with a name that I like a lot. I think that he was 18 months ago, you could argue he was probably the best backup big man in the NBA. I think this year his role has been reduced a little bit. He's not really giving you the production he usually does because he's playing behind two legitimate bigs, and it's just kind of messing things up for him a little bit. He's not getting the rhythm. And that's Naz Reid from the Timberwolves. All right, so he's on the final year of his deal. He is having a bit of a down deal. He can shoot the free a little bit. Not great, but he can. He can rim run. He can block shots. He can rebound. Good size. And most importantly, he fits into a TPE. Right, you can pick him up on a TPE. I don't know what the Timberwolves would want in return. I don't even know if he'd be available. But he's a good type of, if you want a big man insurance policy, he's the type of guy that you should be looking for, right? Maybe you have to give up a Pritchard, or maybe you have to give up a draft pick, or maybe both. But Reid gives you good size, solid rim runner, and if you want to be upgrading from Cornet and Griffin, he's the type of guy you can go after. Now, I will say this is on the final year of his deal. You'd have to feel very comfortable in your ability to renegotiate and retain him if you were going to be giving up a player in this deal.
I mean, I think it's a solid pickup. I've heard his name tossed around before, even before like this season, as a guy that would fit. A lot of people have seen him play and said, this is a guy that would fit a really good role for the Celtics. Bit of a tweener, 6'9", can play the 4 and the 5. Not fantastic shooting, but I don't think
he can stretch the floor a little bit. Like, he'll take the shots, right? And so just to put this inside to cut you here, I'm a big fan of guys that take shots because, and I'll say this, when everyone talks about like shooting gravity and spacing and stuff, it's not necessarily the fact that you convert at a high clip. It's that guys know you're willing to shoot that shot.
Yeah.
Right. Because anyone in the NBA is going to hit wide open threes. So the way I kind of look at it is there's hundreds and hundreds of players in the NBA. It's around about 450 players before you add your two-way guys and everything. 450 guaranteed contracts. I think, or there's 450 guys anyway. It's very hard to know what every one of their shooting percentages is coming into every game because those percentages are fluid. What you do know, what your scouting reports are most likely saying is this dude shoots threes and he's going to jack them from the left wing. He's going to jack them from the right slot, whatever it may be. So, Reid being willing to shoot the free is all that you need to have that spacing. I also think that his size height-wise isn't great, but he has got solid length. He's got a good wingspan. Like, overall, his size is quite, it's beneficial to the way the Celtics like to play. I'm sorry to cut you up.
No, it's fine. And the biggest thing is, like you said, he fits into the TPE, 1.9 million. So, in terms of tax, it won't be terrible. And I think it's a good comfort level. But again, it always comes down to what that contract's going to be at the end of the season. Like, if you're able to retain him, okay. But I think that might scare the Celtics off only because they just figured out everything with Al Horford. They got his extension done. So, like, the big free agent that they have to worry about is Grant. And granted, he's a restricted free agent. And you're going to probably match whatever money gets tossed out there. But adding another free agent to the mix might make things more complicated. So maybe that's something that they don't do. But in terms of fit, I think it's hard to argue against. He's young too, so he fits the timeline of this team. And it just gives you a little bit more oomph behind Rob and Al. And I think that's honestly something that we've talked about a lot for a while now.